So welcome back to the next in the gin review series. In the last video, we did a really nice review of Gin Sul and made a really fantastic gin and tonic with it. I gotta tell you, that gin and tonic was probably one of the best I've had in quite a while. But today, we're gonna make a Negroni. Now, if you're like me, Negronis weren't really my favorite initially. It took a bit before I kind of discovered what I like about a Negroni. And you know, the problem with Negronis that people have is they can be a little too herbal. Like the Campari is just really, really overpowering. But once you kind of learn about like how you like your Negroni, like what vermouth and what gin and everything, you kind of discover that they're actually really nice to have. Usually when I'm making a nice dinner or just something that's gonna be more involved in the kitchen, I'll make one. So today, we're gonna make one. But first, what we wanna do is move this glass out of the way. I want to talk about, normally we use Carpano. That's my preferred sweet vermouth of choice. And this is just a wonderful, absolutely amazing sweet vermouth. There's others out there, but when you make a Negroni this good, this is a really good Italian one, just makes a dynamite Negroni. Most specs for a Negroni will call for this. But a friend of mine brought over a couple bottles recently, and we've put a dent in them since he brought them over, but he brought these two over. And I figured we would, we'll try both of these out, and we'll see maybe if I want to use one of these over the Campari. Or sorry, Carpano. We're not replacing the Campari in this. I mean, Campari is like just one of the bog standard liquors you need for this drink. So let's go ahead and do a side-by-side comparison. I already know what the Carpano tastes like, so I don't need to worry about trying that. I'm leaning towards just going with the Carpano because it's what I know and it's what I really prefer in one of these, but sometimes, sorry, one of our dogs is making a lot of noise. It happens. Yeah, so we're gonna just try these out side by side. All right. And so the first one we're gonna try is this Vermouth de Garage. I believe these are both, I can't remember if they're both Italian or if they're both Spanish. I think these are both Spanish sweet vermouths. All I know is I remember these being really good. And we can already see immediately the Garage we pointed on the, my left to your right compared to the Petroni reminds me a little bit more of almost like a lait in color at least. So we'll see how the flavor profile goes. So here's the Garage first. Oh wow, that's got a little bit more vanilla character to it. Almost I get like some sherry in that, in a good way, like a really good sherry. Not really a dry sherry, but not really a sweet. Well, closer to a sweeter sherry, but not quite to the level of like a cream sherry. And let's try this one and see how that is. Ooh, that's interesting. Did not expect that. This reminds me a little of Koki in the fact that I get a little bit of that root beer note. I'm thinking of Vesper at some point. I'm gonna make a Vesper with that one. That'd be really good. That's similar to Koki Americano. Yeah, it's not overly sweet. It's definitely not as sweet as this. I mean, these two are closer together than, like this is the furthest one away. This almost has like a nice nuttiness to it as well. Like what I get out of like a more like a drier sherry. Almost like maybe an Olabrusco sherry. Really good, nice and dry. That sherry at least is. This one's not, like I said, this one's not dry. I put this more in terms of like maybe a Blanc, closer to like a Dolon Blanc. Yeah, very good, very amazing. I don't think we're gonna make the Negroni with that though. I'd lean toward this one over this one. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Let's go ahead and try out, we'll set our Carpano aside for now, because I mean, that's always gonna get used, but let's just take advantage of having something that's a little bit more unique and make a Negroni with this and see how it turns out. So let me go ahead and set this bottle out of the way. Got my ice cube tempered already. Let's get our glass. Okay, so to our glass, we're gonna go ahead and add a dash of our Angostura bitters. We're going to add our Campari, which is behind me. Let's see, come right there. Sorry about that. Normally I had this set, but we have our Campari right here. So we're gonna start with an ounce of our Campari. I just think about a Negroni it's just simple. It's equal parts Campari, sweet vermouth, and gin. So 1 ounce of Campari. To that, we're gonna add 1 ounce of our Spanish vermouth. Of course, let's just make a mess while we're doing it. And then 1 ounce of our Gin Sul here. We're just covering the bases. We've got Spain, Italy, Portugal for the lemons, and Germany for the gin. I mean, there we go. A multinational Negroni. And this one's looking pretty good. I don't think I need to clean that one up much. A little bit right there on the edge. Sometimes when I take these out of the mold, there's a bit of a lip on them. I like to clean that up. And looking pretty good. Add our rock. Stir. We're going to garnish this with a nice bit of orange. Do a nice half a orange, a nice thick one today. And there we go. There's our Negroni. Salute. Wow, that's different, but that's different in a really good way. The Campari obviously is still there, but it's kind of like in the middle. Like, it's not too upfront where it's gonna like punch you in the face, like you'd expect sometimes these Negronis to go. But I think it's tempered quite a bit by the vermouth. And then with the gin and the nice citrus notes that has, this is a wonderful Negroni. I could really just kind of sit down and just take my time, make a nice dinner, and just enjoy an afternoon or an evening just sipping on this for a while. That is a wonderful, absolutely just really nice, smooth. It's not overly sweet, but it's not overly herbal. It's just, yeah, this is a real treat. If by chance you're able to get your hands on both the Gin Sul, and one of these Spanish vermouths, I would really recommend giving this a shot. It's lovely with the Carpano. Absolutely just makes, I mean, Carpano and Campari are just classic for a Negroni, but I think this way, this spec is, this is really good. If I can get my hands on more of this, I think I'm gonna keep this on hand when I can find more of this. This is amazing. So yeah, so there we go. A little bit of a slight twist on a classic Negroni. I really appreciate you coming along and enjoying the ride on this one. So I've got 2 more drinks in mind for the Gin Sul, so stay tuned. Hopefully you've liked and subscribed, and you'll see more of these coming along. So thank you for watching. I really need to work on the ending.